4D Christmas Cookie Sheet Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish. Hi guys, in today's video I have a 4D cookie sheet, so you can lift up the little spatula and a cookie comes with it, and the cookies are decorated with red and green frosting, so they're very Christmassy and cute, and there's a little glass of milk next to it. Not necessarily a practical wearable design, but definitely really fun. It looks like you have cookies left out for Santa, which we're going to do this year, aren't we? Are you ready? Do you want to do that? Yeah? Okay, good. And so this design is very cute. It's using some of the Madam Glam gel polishes that were in the advent calendar. One of them is the color Love and Mercy, which is absolutely stunning, and the camera does not do it justice. It's a dark gray and it has little silvery specks of glitter and pink and blue and yellow, and it's just absolutely stunning. So definitely check that one out if it's not in your collection already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I'm going to begin with an overlay of clear acrylic. In this design, as well as many of my Christmas designs this year, I used some colors from the Madam Glam Advent Calendar, and so that's why I did just a clear overlay of acrylic in the background. Otherwise, if you wanted to do a background with an overlay, you certainly could. After I have that base down, I'm going to be filing it into shape with my E-file. Make sure it's really nice and smooth and all the lines are straight and even and all of that fantastical stuff. Then I'm going to be applying 2 coats of the color Love and Mercy over the top of the entire nail. In case you guys are curious, at first I saw this color and I thought, okay, so it's like a charcoal that's shimmery. No, it is a charcoal that's shimmery with blue and pink and yellow and every single color little flecks in it. It is gorgeous. And I fell in love with it, and I'm going to have to get a full-size bottle one of these days. Anyways, after you have that fully painted and top coated and all of that great stuff, I'm going to be sculpting a rectangle with silver acrylic on my nail form backing. So you want the background to be darker than your silver or gray acrylic is for your cookie sheet, so that the cookie sheet stands out and looks kind of, I don't know, bright and visible. So start out with just a rectangle that is the shape of the bottom of the cookie sheet that you would want it to be, so size and all of that stuff. Clean up the edges with the side of your brush, the belly of your brush, just make it as square as possible. And then I'm going to take, and someplace in the cookie sheet, attach a little magnet. So I did one of the corners, or near a corner. Just drop it in there, kind of push it down so that it sinks into the acrylic a little bit. And then after you have that done, I'm going to take the same color of acrylic and I'm going to sculpt the flipper or the bottom or the scooper part of my spatula. And so just take, and there's many different shapes of spatulas, so you kind of have some freedom there, but I went with sort of a regular shape, rounded on one side, flat on the other, and stick a magnet into that little spatula piece as well. Just clean up those lines and try to keep it proportional if you're looking at the size of your cookie sheet compared to the size of your spatula. My proportions on this design weren't exactly accurate. I thought my glass of milk was a little bit on the large side compared to my cookie sheet, but you know, such is life. And then I'm going to take and add another little line of acrylic on your cookie sheet on 2 sides that are opposite each other. So just place that little line of acrylic down and then sort of square up the edges and then leave it set. You're leaving it set until it starts to solidify, until it starts to cure. So this is the part where I definitely get impatient because you're essentially watching water boil. You're just sitting there waiting for it to be at the exact right stage so you can just flip up the sides. So once it reaches that point where the acrylic really starts to turn matte, slide your brush underneath and then use the belly of your brush to tip the sides up. So this is giving the height on the lip of your cookie sheet. Do the same with the other side, and if you wait too long, it's not going to bend, and if you don't wait long enough, it's going to collapse on itself. So this is really a precarious moment in this design, is making sure that you get that at just the right moment. And it's not a case where I could tell you have to wait 36 seconds and do it, because everybody's acrylic is a little different. The temperature in your house can make a difference. The humidity where you are can make a difference. Everything can really change up how it is. So you have to kind of just watch your acrylic, engage it. And then after you do flip those up, keep an eye on them because they may move on you again. And after you have those 2 and you think they're looking pretty good, then you're going to go and do the other 2 sides. So you're doing like top and bottom and then left and right, or vice versa. So then once those are ready, do the same thing, kind of flip them up on their side. But you do really have to wait until they're at that right stage. I did try one of my sides too early and I ended up having to fix it up a little bit. So just keep that in mind. And like I've said in a couple other of my videos, if this is something that you will get super impatient in, you might have a benefit of listening to some music or watching something, you know, favorite movie or something, just to keep your mind occupied. Just be careful you don't get too distracted, because you will skip the moment and then it'll just be a solid, larger rectangle than it was before. Once you have all those sides flipped up, if you want to kind of clean up the edges of them a little bit with some more of the silver acrylic, you can, or you can just say it's good and move on with your day. So with a creamy beige color, I'm going to be sculpting my cookies. And depending on how creative you want to get and how creative you usually make your Christmas cookies, you can make them just little circle cutouts like I did, or you can make a bunch of different kinds of cookies if you want to get specific with it, make your favorites, which my favorites won't look like anything. We make some that they're chocolate crinkles, and they basically just look like a brown blob, but they're delicious. So that won't look like too much for a nail. So I made little cutout cookies, but just make those circles, make one of them off the cookie sheet. So however many you want to fit on the cookie sheet, but then make sure that one is to the side. Then bend a piece of wire just a little bit on an angle at the end and glue the flipper portion of your spatula to that little bent area of the wire. Cut off any extra wire, and then I'm going to be using Madame Glam's Builder Light Pink, and I'm going to create the handle of my spatula. So just take that and kind of wrap the gel around just the very end of that wire. It's a little bit awkward, but it definitely works. And then paint that with some black gel polish, cure it again, and then paint it with some gel top coat and cure it again. Now I'm going to be adding one of the cookies to the flipper area of my spatula. And now to create the little cup of milk. So on a piece of straw, I'm going to be painting the very end of it with some clear builder gel. And then with white gel polish, I'm going to just kind of fill my glass however full you want to with your milk and cure that again. And then apply another layer of the clear builder gel on top of that. So you want it to have two thicknesses of the clear builder gel so that it's strong enough it won't break. Top coat it so it's not sticky. You can also cleanse it if you like. I just hate cleansing stuff, so it's easier for me to apply a no-wipe top coat and call it good. Then you're going to twist your straw and pull it off the little glass of milk, like so. And then just clean up the edges of it with a hand file just to sharpen them. Then to fill the bottom of your mug or your cup, sculpt a little circle on your nail form backing with white acrylic, and then stick your cup on top of it. And if there's any acrylic that's kind of leaked out around the sides, you can clean those up just with the tip of your brush. So now I'm going to assemble my nail. So I'm going to glue on my cookie sheet. I'm going to glue on the glass of milk. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to kind of fill in underneath those pieces with clear acrylic if there's any large gaps, which under the cookie sheet there definitely will be. The glass of milk there may or may not, but if you want to make sure it stays nice and strong, I would recommend filling in under that with some clear acrylic. Then using the color Lost in the Woods and True Fire Brick Red, which are also from that advent calendar, I'm going to be decorating my Christmas cookies. And same thing, depending on how creative you want to get. I mean, if your Christmas cookies, if you sculpted them into little tree shapes and bell shapes and whatever you did, then you would probably want to decorate them in the appropriate colors. But otherwise, red and green definitely does the job. I'm going to highlight the edge of my cookie sheet with the color Shimmer White, just because it is kind of like a shimmer silvery color, and it definitely just makes that edge stand out. Add some more decorations on your cookies, curing whenever you think is necessary. And then add a few black outlines here and there. It does not take too much, but I did add some little lines on my spatula and then some little outlines around my cookies to make the edges of those stand out a bit more. And then just within the inside cracks or the creases of my cookie sheet. Apply a layer of matte gel top coat over your spatula, the end of it with the cookie on it, and then over the inside of the cookie sheet. After that's all cured, you're all done. This design is just so, I don't know, it makes a very warm, fuzzy feeling for me. I love to bake, and making Christmas cookies is a tradition that I definitely stand behind. So I hope you guys love this design as much as I do. This was actually my mom's idea, and she was very happy I was able to make it. So yay for her too. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!